It's a beautiful sunny day here in Florida, and I thought it would be really fun to take you guys along a little adventure. I've gathered some essential supplies and I'll be stepping out of the studio and into nature. I drove down to a small park, and as I was walking, I noticed some really beautiful scenery and I was immediately inspired. I always love to take some time to walk around and see what catches my attention. And I couldn't help but stop and observe these beautiful cast shadows in the park area, and the sun and scenery was just so exquisite, so I think I'll be settling down here. Hey everyone, it's Jess here and welcome to our first urban sketching video. I have been really focusing on painting outside and really just taking in the surroundings. So today I wanted to take you on my little journey that I take with my sketchbook and just show you my step-by-step process on painting from life. Painting from observation is something that I have been passionate about for a long time. And today I have my little easel set up to paint from life, and I wanted to show you guys some of my new little setups that I came up with, and we're gonna get started. I think there's no better feeling than catching a scene in the moment, and I think it's really great that we can do this together for the first time today, and I hope that you guys will enjoy this video and the process. So I have already settled in this little shady area here in the park. There's actually nobody around and it's quite beautiful. It's so nice and breezy today. I have some extra shade happening, have my little hat ready for you guys today. And I think that we're gonna get started on painting the scene. And when I'm first beginning to paint, I always look at my surroundings and see what really grabs me, and any of the light sources that I see, or just the feeling that I get from looking at something that I really want to capture on my sketchbook. So this area specifically really caught my eye, so maybe I'll be doing a panoramic view. Couldn't decide whether to do this tree with all of that shadow there or that tree because it's just so beautiful and the cast shadow is just wonderful. But I think that I will try my best, depending on how much time we have. I'm going to be doing this whole kind of scene. So let's see how we can start by putting it on paper. There is some construction going around outside, but that's the beauty of really challenging yourself to work in the moment. But let me quickly talk about my little setup easel that I have going today. So this is a little tripod that I have set up. I also have a foldable chair that I'm sitting on. It's right here. And also I have this little easel that my dad actually 3D printed for me. I put it on my Instagram story and you guys were asking what this is. But technically I've been doing some research on some setups for easels and how I can use it to paint from life. But my father and my dad's like an amazing, can make anything by hand, and he decided to help me kind of design a 3D printed version of this. And I think that it's really functional. I have already made two sizes, and we kind of measured out for a smaller sketchbook and a larger sketchbook. And I'm currently using this Etcher sketchbook. It's a large A4 size. So the larger version fits right on here perfectly, as you can see. So basically this is what I'm going to be using to prop my sketchbook up, as well as my palette. It's gonna come here. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later, and I'm still testing out. We're still kind of prototyping these things, but shout out to my dad. He's amazing and for helping me build this. And shout out to all the other artists that I did some research on who also have made their own sketchbook little plein air boxes. So I just have prepped the tripod back here, and I'm going to just attach it like so, and we will begin painting. So my sketchbook goes right here, and my palette will go over here on this part, along with my brushes and my little water cup and any other gouache paints that I have prepared. So it's like a perfect little table, and I love it so much. I'm so happy that I began doing this. It's like literally a serious game changer, guys. I've recently started this sketchbook, and if you guys haven't seen me start this video, it's up on my channel. But I've really been focusing on painting from life and just trying to set up my easel and sit outside and just capture the moment. This is something that I've just wanted to set as an intention for this month, and it's also something I'm doing with my patrons. We're setting like challenges for ourselves, and it's been really awesome. So I wanted to take you guys along the journey to paint from life today. And so I'm just going to flip over to a brand new page and we're going to get started. I'm all set up and ready to begin. I've been trying out this little travel palette, so I do have both of them with me today just to see how I'm gonna do. I might just get rid of all of these colors and use a very limited palette, but it's such a beautiful day and I'm ready to start painting, and thank you so much for joining me. So I have my little glass here that I'm going to be pouring water in. It's my little water cup. It's a collapsible little shot glass, but I'm using it for water. So that's a little tip. And I'm going to start off with a pencil drawing and walk you guys through the whole process. I usually start off with a watercolor pencil to start sketching, but today I think I'm gonna go with a nice hard pencil to get a nice detailed sketch, and then I'll begin painting. Since the sketchbook is relatively large and I may be using both spreads, I think that I'm going to start off by really lightly looking at my composition and seeing where I really want to place this tree. So in this moment, I'm really focusing on where I'm going to place everything, and I don't want to get too caught up in details because I want to leave that for when I find all of that when I am painting. So just the placement is really just nice and quick so that I visually see where everything is going to go. I absolutely love the way that the foliage is cutting as negative space in the clouds, and I love this little path that we have going here in the boats. So I'm just going to really focus on capturing the mood in the scene, and as well as the values and the beautiful light that we have coming in there. It's about 12 o'clock noon, so I really have to work quickly to capture this light as the sun will change very shortly. I already see the sun coming in through the trees, but hopefully I won't get too much sun in as it can get pretty hot pretty quickly. But it's all part of urban sketching and it's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for this first video. Oh look, a little fly came to sit on my sketchbook. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this first video of urban sketching together, and I hope you guys like these, and hopefully these will turn into like a little series of videos perhaps. So I'm really focusing on these general big shapes of shadows and placing them onto my paper to make sure that they are mapped out. As you can see here, that's that shadow right there. And I'm just mapping out where they are on the paper and where they're going to exist right in the sketchbook. And look at that beautiful shadows that go on that little path. So this is really what I'm going to try and capture here in this piece. See, I have already laid out the sketch. It's pretty loose and just gets the overall idea of what I see in front of me. Now I'm going to begin with my watercolors. The first thing I like to do when I approach a painting, and I just really like to capture just a ground so that I'm not working off of white, but I do leave some areas light to really capture those highlights and make sure that I have those open. I'm just working on really capturing that bright green that I see on the field. So I'm gonna first begin by really taking a really light sort of yellowish green and capturing those beautiful bright tones very carefully and like loosely, basically, with this really wide brush that lets me cover a big amount of area very quickly at first. Oh my god, you have no idea what just happened. This bird just dropped something on my sketchbook. And I think that's it right there. Oh no! No! What did you do, bird? How is it that I got lucky to sit right here where this bird decided to just take? Oh my god. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's just hope that doesn't happen again. I have to capture it, you know?
This is a magic spot right here.
It's beautiful. You have to capture the magic, right? Have a good one. So as you guys can see, I'm just putting in the values for now. This is just very rough stages of blocking in color and just thinking about where every kind of value is going to sit. So a lot of the times where I really want to punch out a brighter value, if I see something really light, there's always something darker behind it. So as you can see there's that darker bush. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this darker value behind it so that this grass in front is going to pop. So that's a really great tip for anything that you want to make lighter in front. Tree foliage, I'm really just blocking in just large shapes of where I see these big blocks of leaves happening, and then later on with different layers I'm going to overlap them with some more details. So big blocks and big shapes first, and then we move on to some details and adding in a little bit of fun to really punch out those negative shapes. And the trees are so beautiful now with all the cast shadows. I'm loving, loving, loving painting from life. Sketch is off to a good start. It's really important to trust the process as you go on. But right now, what I'm going to focus on is to really punch out the shadows, as you can see in what I'm looking at in front of me, and also really create that contrast that you see happening right here in the bench with the darker values of the beautiful shadows on the path. When I'm painting from observation, and even when I pick the subject, I'm always thinking about what is it that grabs my eye and what is it that I want to capture in that moment. That's something that always crosses my head, and it always is personal to you on what grabs your attention. I always like to say to paint and draw what you love and what really captivates you. And once there's something that captivates you, it's automatically going to translate in your work, and it's going to appear more interesting to the viewer as well, since this is a topic that you as an artist and as a creative are passionate about. So I really am inspired by artists such as Sargent, who actually sat on location and painted. So I am really trying to practice these and just put them into my sketchbook routine, as I really love the work that I'm able to create without thinking too much about the finished result. I'm strictly relying on my feelings and just basically just the moment, and there's no really time to overthink at this point, and I just have to do my best to capture what I see in front of me as quickly and as beautifully as possible. An hour has passed about, and I'm pretty happy with what's happening here for now, but I'm just going to kind of zone out and focus on bringing out those shadows and really kind of taking a smaller brush and begin to punch out some details and just choose on what I'd like to exaggerate. So this is also part of the fun when I'm sketching outside, because I get to kind of like play around with what I want to include. And it was really funny because I was sitting in a section where there was a bird that was sitting on top of me, and it kept just, you know, going to the bathroom all over my sketchbook stuff. So I just moved a little forward, and I'm not having that issue yet. So I'm not sure if this bird is finding me on purpose and trying to be funny, but I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. So I'll be checking in with you guys. But it's been a beautiful day. It's super sunny, and I'm really happy that I get to capture this moment in my sketchbook and with you guys. So this tree is initially what sparked my attention to paint this scene. So I really want to kind of bring it some focus to it and punch out some details now. I'm not using too thin of a brush, but I am using a round brush at this point. And I just think it's such a beautiful tree. I don't know, trees are just so beautiful. Choosing a topic that really like speaks to you is so important, because something that can touch you maybe not necessarily would touch someone else. But the beauty of art is that you can bring your inspiration and what inspires and kind of pulls you in and bring it to life, and it can also bring awareness to others. So I also now just put out some white on my palette so I can take those bright highlights that I see and just punch them out. And the gouache really allows me to actually mix that in with the watercolor, so it works. Say hi!
Hi.
Those are my friends now. They've been riding around on the scooters, as you can see. So this is the awesome part about urban sketching, is you get to make friends and just kind of enjoy the moment. And I really feel so good after painting, from observation and just being outside and taking in the fresh air. It just doesn't get better than this. I'm almost coming to a finish to this piece. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of white gouache and blue, this royal blue right here, and I'm actually painting in the negative space that I see in between the leaves to give that illusion of the blue sky shining through. So that's the beauty of including a little bit of white gouache wherever you go. That way you can paint back in the opacity rather than leaving the spaces white if you need to paint in some of the negative space. Alright guys, so I just got up for the first time to stretch my legs to make sure that I am kind of like moving around, because you can get too stuck into your painting. And here's how it looks from afar. It's always good to take a step away and to just really look at how your piece looks from afar. And I think that I'm going to call it done. I really like how it looks, and it was just a really beautiful day. So here it is. Here's my little setup, and here's the painting that's coming to life. Have a full spread going today, and here's the scene. Whew. I think that I'm going to be packing up now. I'm gonna call this one done for now. And I am really excited about today's creation. It's looking pretty great, and this is such a beauty that you can create in the moment and practice, and just the feeling that you get from just challenging yourself to sit and create of what you see and how you can bring it to life is exquisite to me. So I'm going to show you guys the final reveal. We're gonna see each other back at the studio. Here is one more closer look at the painting, and I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for now. And Alright, so we did it, and now it's time to pack up. I just want to take a moment to really say thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for joining me outside today in the fresh air. It was literally one of the most incredible Wednesdays that I've had in a really long time. So I really hope that this inspires you to go out and actually paint from life, whether it is from your window, whether it's from your balcony, from your porch. Maybe you just set up something at home in your room. So you will see how incredible it makes you feel and how much you will learn in that time. And if you really want to get better, putting in the time to set something up and paint from life or draw from life is really going to give you the most incredible results. Well, looks like the day and the video is come to an end. If you want to check out my other videos, feel free to check out anything else I have on my channel. We do a lot of sketchbooks. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already done so. You can also check out my website. I have all my art prints, and I have exclusive stickers and Patreon rewards uploaded. The new tier is launched, so if you are interested and you'd like to check that out, feel free to do so. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. If you like these style of videos, this is super relatively new to me to shoot these kind of videos and to kind of like multitask while I'm outside speaking to people, drawing, painting, and explaining my process. But let me know if you enjoyed these. This was super highly requested, and I actually had a lot of fun videotaping and recording the process. So please let me know if you enjoyed. I really hope that you found it helpful as well, and truly from the bottom of my heart inspired you to get your sketchbook out and just get creative. There's a million things that can inspire us throughout the day, and there's so much around us. Life is literally an inspiration. So I really hope that you will take the time to find something that speaks to you and just calls you to paint it or create it or photograph it, and just do whatever makes you happy and whatever you love. I'm now going to pack up, and it's time to get some food in the belly, get some rest, and I really hope that you will come and tune into the next video. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, for your incredible support and love. It's Jess here, and I will see you guys in the next video.